Ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed to give you what you need, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Cody, and today we are here for a pre-video. I've never done one of these before, but I want to give my thoughts before we go into the album, because Young Sinatra, Mr. Logic himself, has announced that his next album is coming out in a week's time, and that it will be his retirement album. Now, he's teased retirement in the past. It was the end of Everybody, where he was like, and this album's going to be my final one. But it turned out that it would be his final Young Sinatra project. And now he's flat out teasing a full-on retirement, saying he's going to go raise his son. He released the album art of his new project on all the social media. He was off social media for a really long time. But he's back, and he's dropping this final project, which will be executive produced by No ID. So that's exciting. We love No ID. Honestly, the purpose of this video is just me clearing my head and like kind of taking you on the journey of like my Logic fandom and how it's evolved and changed over time. So I first got into Logic's music when I was a junior in high school, or a little bit before I was a junior in high school. His album, Under Pressure, his debut album, came out, and upon listening to his first album, I went back and dabbled in his mixtapes as well. That Logic was hungry. That Logic just wanted success so bad, and you could feel it. Like every word he said was purposeful, and you can tell he took his time with his craft. His undeniable love of hip-hop and the pure art of rapping was unparalleled. Those projects were great. His mixtapes are fantastic, and Under Pressure, looking back now, like retrospectively, I think it is his best album, just from like a pure hip-hop standpoint, if that makes sense. From Under Pressure, we got The Incredible True Story, which I have a poster of actually back there. You can't see it. I saw Logic in concert with this album for the first time. That was my first concert ever. My first concert was a Logic concert. We met his DJ Rhetoric, in Richmond. I think he's from Richmond, Virginia. So he was like meeting all the fans before the show, and me and my friend that I went with got a picture with him. There was like 1,000 people in that venue, if that. Literally, like, I could make eye contact with Logic. That's how close our seats were. At the time, I thought it was the greatest thing ever, because I was a angsty high schooler, and it was just perfect. It was just everything I needed. I learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube because I saw Logic freestyling and doing it at the same time. I was like, yo, that's really cool. I want to learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube. So I was one of those kids. I saw it and I was like, yo, this guy's amazing. He's such a cool artist. And he is. His message of like peace, love, and positivity, like you can really get behind that. How can you hate somebody that is standing by that credo? You can't. Bobby Tarantino came out like a year later, and that was another good project. Like Logic was in his bag. We should give a special shout out to Six, because on the production, Six is so talented. So then we got Everybody, and this album, when it came out, was very, very special to me. It was my freshman year of college, and I waited till midnight to listen to it, and my roommate was asleep, and I was literally like sitting there with my headphones on. Like, my roommate's like 5 feet away from me because the rooms are so small, and that album was just so impactful to me. Like, I would listen to it over and over and over again. And then this, of course, is the album that launched Logic into the stratosphere, or that started to make him into the giant mainstream success that he is today. You have to keep in mind, before this, Logic was so underground. Like I said before, I saw him in a venue with 1,000 people. That's how small he was. And then, starting from here, he would go on to like bigger and bigger venues. I saw him again in concert with Joey Badass. That was another amazing concert. But you can start to like see the crowd in general, that Logic was starting to accumulate, I guess I could say. I'm trying to choose my words very wisely because I don't want to come across like I don't appreciate what Logic stands for or even his music, because like the dude is so talented and I've been a fan, I feel like, since he properly was introduced to the hip-hop community at large, from like not just emerging as an artist, I guess you can say. His fans and like the people around him, I feel, started to change a little bit. It just wasn't the same. Like looking back now is when like that shift started to happen, I feel like. A year after everybody, we have Bobby Tarantino 2. This is when we started to see Logic putting out projects way too close to the others and it not meeting the expectations that people have come to know from him. I would say this is the first project that I was disappointed by in Logic, because like I said before, when everybody first came out, I really enjoyed the project. It meant a lot to me at the time it came out. But this project, I listened to it and deep down I knew that this wasn't the same level as his other stuff was. Looking back at like his mixtapes and stuff, the hunger, it seems like, wasn't there anymore. In the same year, talk about him releasing projects too close together, he drops Young Sinatra 4. When it came out, I enjoyed it for the most part. There were definitely songs on this I listened to and I was like, what in the world is this? It's just like not the same. I don't know what it is. Logic fans who aren't covered with the blinders know for a fact, like if you've been around since the beginning, this is really when everything started to change, because it wasn't the same and his music wasn't hitting the same level. After this project, he kind of takes a left turn and releases Supermarket with his novel, which I have the novel. I can pull this out for you just to show you. I have the novel right here. I have it right here. I bought it the day it came out. I don't hate Logic. I don't despise Logic. Frankly, I think the word for it is concerned. I'm very concerned for Logic. He released Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. This album sucks. I'm just going to be straight up. This album is trash. It was bad. It was so bad. And the amount of utter disappointment that I felt when I listened to this album and realized how just separated he was from the artists we knew in the Under Pressure days and the Incredible True Story days was just heartbreaking. And like, it definitely cut into like just my consumption of Logic's music. Like every time he pops up now, it's complicated for me because I want to listen to whatever music comes up from him, but also at the same time, in my mind, I can't separate. I'm going to call a fall from grace, just for me personally. You may have a different opinion, but for me personally, it was definitely a fall from grace. I saw Logic in concert again. He came to my college's arena. A majority of the people in that arena were children. Now, granted, yes, I was in high school when I started listening to Logic, but these were like middle schoolers. Like their parents took them to the concert. This is a hip-hop concert. If you've ever been to a hip-hop concert and kids are there, it was very concerning. Now, YB and Cordae and JID were also there, and they were the best part of the show, but people didn't give them any love. I was looking around and I was like, what is happening right now? This is JID and YB and Cordae, two of like the hottest up-and-coming stars in rap, and these children they don't know because they're only exposed to the washed down version of Logic. 5 years prior to that concert happening, Logic would have been in the same lane as a JID or a YBN Cordae. That was like the same aura he had around him. He was this new up-and-coming artist that was going to change things. And Logic did that. Logic did that. But in doing so, he lost the special spark that his fans, not all of his fans obviously, but like fans like me, I'll say, he lost that spark that made us fall in love with him in the first place. Now he announces this retirement album, and I do want to give this man a chance. I will listen to it. I plan to make a video for it. While a lot of this video is negative in itself, I think it's coming from a point of genuine concern. You have to understand that. I just want to see the Logic that I fell in love with. Frankly, the music, Logic's music that I fell in love with. I want that. I guess just going into this album, I just want it to be a proper send-off for him. I don't know. I guess we just have to wait another week and see. I just kind of wanted to like get these thoughts out there. I'm sorry if you disagree with me. I think if you've been around for a while, I think you understand, at least from a certain point, where I'm coming from. Logic has had a tremendous impact on my life, and I just want to see him ride off into the sunset with something I guess we all can be proud of. Those are my thoughts. I'll see you next week for the album review for Logic's album. Let me know how you're feeling going into Logic's new album, and I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you for the next one.